and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my April's monthly review slash book review. My books are in a basket to make it easier for me. So I have my phone with me, I have my books, and they're even in like order that I read them in. Ta-da! So it should make this video a lot easier. But first we're going to start off with the month review. Whereas usually I start off with the book review, I'll do the month review first because it's going to be rather short. Because April, what have I done? I've been shut in my house. So we're in lockdown for the month of April. We are still in lockdown. So, yay for lockdown. Bless you, my cat just sneezed. I don't know if you heard that, but that was super cute. So, for April, during the lockdown, what have I done? What have I accomplished? How have I felt? Well, I've had my ups. I've had my lows. I've had a lot of lows where I've just been like, ugh, and unmotivated and could hardly move from the sofa. So there's that. What have I done though? I've been learning to paint. I can't remember if I started in March to learn to paint or if it's been just in April. But my canvases are getting better. Here's one of them now. That's one of the canvases I did. And if you watch my like weekly vlogs, you'll often see which canvas I painted that week. So that's pretty cool. I'm proud of that. I'm happy that I've done that. What else have I done in April? I've played a lot of Animal Crossing. Like a lot. Spent a lot of late nights playing Animal Crossing, but yeah, my village is getting. I'm quite proud of my village actually. I'm gonna be able to like walkways and paths and everything at the moment. It's kind of cute. And what else? April. Also, I've become obsessed with TikTok. Like obsessed. I can spend hours trying to make TikTok videos or just watching TikTok videos. So my month of April is being at home, laying on the sofa, painting, playing Animal Crossing, laying on the sofa, watching TikToks, making TikToks. That was my month of April. Anyway, to the books. So we have a good collection. I've read 7 for the month of April, and I am going to read from my phone about them because I have a bad memory. I just can't remember. So like the Pet Shop one, I think I even started like the last day of March, I think. So this one's called The Pet Shop at Pennycombe Bay, and it's by Sheila Norton. So the back says, in need of a fresh start, Jess has moved to the beautiful Devon seaside of Pennycombe Bay. However, things aren't turning out exactly as she hoped. She enjoys her new job at the local pet shop but feels like she's treading on eggshells living with her moody cousin Ruth. When she meets handsome stranger Nick on the beach, she thinks she's made a new friend, or perhaps something more. Although her hopes of romance are quickly dashed when she finds out he's seeing another woman, but with faithful dog Prudence by her side, Jess is determined to become more involved in the local community. So, about this book. So she lives with her older cousin. It turns out that Nick is actually dating her cousin Ruth. Ruth is an alcoholic, and Jess used to be a chef, but she got sacked, which is then when she moved into with her cousin Ruth. Jess works at a pet shop and loves her dog. Turns out that Nick is actually really drunk and alcoholic as well, and mean, and he's an arsehole. I don't like him. At the pet shop, Jess meets a guy called Tom who has a son. Throughout it, Jess is learning, developing as a person, and she used to be shy, and she comes out of the cocoon and becomes a butterfly kind of thing. And she volunteers at a hospital and school with her dog, and I think it's like Pause for Thoughts or something they do, where when you take therapy dogs basically. It was an alright book. Changes happened to the shop and that. It ends on a positive note. I gave this a 6 out of 10. It kind of was a slow start, then I got really into it, and then I got fed up with it, and then by the end I got really into it again. So it was kind of like a, ooh, and then I enjoyed it. So that's why I gave it a 6 out of 10. It was good, but I don't know, it was just like your classic romance really. General sort of these books happen. So yeah. So the next one, The Gell and Ice by Robert, I'm going to really butcher his name, Brian Dizzer, and it's a Detective Erica Foster novel. So there's a book. Okay, the back says, her eyes are wide open, her lips part as if to speak. Her dead body is frozen in the ice. She is not the only one. When a young boy discovers the body of a woman beneath a thick sheet of ice in the South London park, Detective Erica Foster is called in to lead a murder investigation. The victim, a beautiful young socialite, appeared to have a perfect life, yet when Erica begins to dig deeper, she starts to connect the dots between the murder and the killings of 3 prostitutes, all found strangled, hands bound and dumped in water around London. What dark secrets is the Gell and Ice hiding? So, I enjoyed this one. I gave this a 7 out of 10. So, the girl on the ice is like a really beautiful, famous girl, and she's like dead. And it seems like she lived a double life, basically. Like, she acts all like innocent and everything, but actually she has a darker side to her. And Erica had an incident. She's a detective for the case, and she had an incident before which got her husband and like 4 other men or 3 other men. She got a number of men killed because they were like went into something too quickly, kind of thing. So she's like developing as a character, getting through that, but also like dealing with this investigation. And the killer becomes like interested in Erica, and there's loads of what she knows. Like, he like starts to like try and get hold of her and all that kind of stuff. And I honestly, it's one of those books that's quite a slow start, but then once it gets into it, it's really good, and I got really into it. But then the ending seemed too rushed. Like, I could have had like another like 2-3 chapters. I would have been perfectly happy with it, because like the ending pretty, like, they literally solve it and it's done. But I think it could have been solved a bit more drama, a bit more dramatic, and then have it done. But I enjoyed it, and I didn't realise that, I didn't notice that it said it was a Detective Erica Foster novel, which made it there's more. So I am going to try and get some more of these books, because I seriously enjoyed this. I like detective books, but I'm not like super into them. But this one I really did enjoy. It was written really well. Like, apart from the fact that I felt like the ending was just too quick at the end. Like, that's the only bit downside of it, which is why I gave it a 7 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. If the ending was a bit longer, I think I would have given it a 10 out of 10. But yeah, I've just lost all my notes. So there's that one. Okay. Next one up was a weird one. I don't know if my sister picked this one for me, if I picked it, or if I picked this one. So we got it from a charity shop. I think all of these apart from one came from a charity shop. So this one's called Property, and it's by Valerie Martin. So, Property is Valerie Martin's powerful, startling novel set in America's Deep South in the early 19th century. Manon Gaudet is unhappily married to the owner of a Louisiana sugar plantation. She misses her family and longs for a native New Orleans. But most of all, she longs to be free of a suffocating domestic situation. The tension revolves around Sarah, a slave girl given to Manon as a wedding present, whose young son, Walter, is living proof to where Manon's husband's inclinations lie. This private drama is played out against a brooding atmosphere of unrest and bloody uprisings as the whispers of a slave rebellion, there you go, grow louder and more threatening. So, Walter is her husband's bastard son. The slaves are beginning to rebel. The house gets attacked, the husband gets killed, and Sarah took off with a horse, leaving her son Walter and Manon, left there. Her son Walter was also deaf, so he doesn't know what's going on. He's a bit of a wild child, and everything's deaf. She gets Manon gets shot in the arm during this attack, and can't use her arm anymore. She returns home to her mum because her mum died, and that's where she decides to live. They find Sarah and they return her, and that's it. It's so I don't even know, that's literally the book. You have this lady Manon moaning I'm unhappy with my husband or whatever, and then her husband gets killed, then she returns home, and then that's it. She's got to find Sarah. And there's a really weird moment in here where Sarah's breastfeeding because Sarah has another child, and she's breastfeeding, or she's just breastfed and she's asleep, and milk is dripping out of her boob or whatever, and then Manon, her owner, then goes and suckles on her, and there's a really weird moment that it feels like it shouldn't be in there. It's so out of the blue how it happens, and then they don't mention it again, and then just nothing else comes of it. It's really weird, and this whole thing is just I don't know, it feels like a mixture of short stories dumped into one, because there's never a proper it's not flowed very well, if that makes sense. I don't know, I feel like this one could have been a lot better written if it was maybe thicker, with more padding. I feel like this was the draft, and she was then going to fill out and put more information and more story to it, but never did, and then just released it like this. It feels like it's missing half a book kind of thing. But yeah, so this one got 2 out of 5. My next one is this one called The World's Greatest Unsolved Crimes. So this is From Theft and Fraud to Murder. The World's Greatest Unsolved Crimes examines the facts beyond the most intriguing crimes of all, those that remain unsolved. Now, I thought this would be really good. It's short stories about, very short stories about the unsolved crimes, really brief information about them. But this was written in, this edition was published in 1991. This was written in 1984. So the crimes are very outdated. And I found them very boring. Like, I'm not even going to keep this book. I just found it very boring, very outdated. I should have paid attention to it, well, by just like the look of the book, really. I should have noticed that it was going to be old. But it's mainly set about stuff during the World War II / before kind of thing. The only one I really found interesting was that the World Cup got stolen and was found by a dog. It's the only part of that I found interesting. So I gave this book a 1 out of 5. No, 1.5 out of 10, because, yeah, it was just a bit, that nearly hit me on the head kind of book. Now the next one, I'm excited to tell you about this one. So this one's called Viper's Daughter by Michelle Paver. So this is part of a series. I don't think they're called the Wolf Brothers series, but the first book is called Wolf Brothers. I think it's called like the Chronicles of, oh god, what is it? Chronicles of Darkness or something? Hold on, I'm gonna have to look. I have the book series here. What are they called? The Chronicles of Ancient Darkness. And the last one got released, I think, in about 2009. I think that's what the last book got written. Yeah, the last book was called Ghost Hunter, and that got released, I think, about 2009, because the first book was released in about 2004. And I think I was around, 2009. I was about in year 9 when the last book got released. And then she released this one. And I was like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. And it's good. These books I like because you don't have to have read the whole series. I understand it, you could just read it as a one-off like this. But it is good to read. I do recommend the whole series, they're amazing. I think this is book 7. Yeah, this is book 7, so I recommend it. So, I am with you, said Wolf. We find the Pack Sister together. For 2 summers, Torok and Ren have been living in the forest with their faithful pack brother Wolf, but their happiness is shattered when Ren realises Torok is in danger and she's a threat. When she mysteriously disappears, Torok and Wolf brave the far north to find her. At the mercy of the sea, mother and hunted by ravenous ice bears, a quest leads them to the edge of the world. There they must face an enemy more evil than they've ever encountered. So I loved it, I really enjoyed it. So, Ren is Torok's like partner, girlfriend. She keeps having things where she's gonna hurt him, and she's a mage, and she thinks she's gonna probably hurt Torok, so she leaves him. Torok manages to catch up with her, but it's just with another guy, and he's like, oh my god, I hate her. And apparently this other guy is saying he's her brother. So here, Torok and his wolf, because he hangs out with a wolf, and Ren all have these scars, and they didn't put 2 and 2 together, but these scars kept itching, and they've got these scars from demons from a battle in another book, and they itch whenever the demons are around, but they kept itching when they were around Ren's brother, but they didn't put 2 and 2 together, and it turns out that the brother is an ice demon. He takes Ren to an ice mountain because he wants to be free of his human body, and only Ren can do it because she has to be blood and a mage, and he wasn't a mage, so he can do it himself, but Ren could because she's a mage and blood relative. So there's a battle on the ice mountain, which is on the edge of the world. The brother dies by being trodden on by a mammoth, which is a mammoth. However, how it ends, it makes you think he wasn't killed, because they don't see him get killed, they just hear him scream. So, and it's like how, and Ren, when they return back, has a vision that he's sitting on a tree with his mum, and his mum is all like, he's not dead. Did you see him die? He's not dead. So it's like, makes you think, he might not be dead. And there's another book coming out next year, which also makes me think, he's not going to be dead, is he? Come on. It's not that easy to kill an ice demon or a demon. But then at the same time, the whole point of the mammoths was to protect people from demons. So maybe they did kill it. I don't know. It's one of those things like, I don't know about. But I really enjoyed it. I gave this a 9 out of 10. I can't remember why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10. I don't know, there's something with it that I just weren't like 100% like 10 out of 10, but I gave it a 9 out of 10 because I really did enjoy it and I got really excited that it returned. So I recommend it. Like, I know these are kind of designed like young teenagers, I'll say, or like children that can read really well, but I love it. It's an amazing book. It's like awesome. I really recommend the series. The next one is War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. When an alien capsule lands on Horseshoe Common and Woking, crowds astonished onlookers gather, but wonder soon turns to terror when the Martians emerge. Armed with deadly heat rays, the aliens begin their conquest of Earth. Confronted by powers beyond our control, a technology far in advance of our own, and a race of alien invaders that regard us as no more than ants, humankind faces extinction. While the world crumbles under the shadow of a Martian menace, one man sets out alone across the desolate wasteland to find his wife. Now, I really enjoyed it. So basically the cylinders fall from Mars, the Martians live inside. I don't think that I haven't seen the film War in the Worlds since I was like young, and that freaked me out, and I didn't watch it since. Really, I should watch it again. But I always thought that the aliens were the like weird tentacle robots, but from the book, Martians lived inside the like robots, and they were like just they're like robots that they controlled. But yeah, so they're using the machines to attack, and then at the end the Martians have died, and I believe the Martians died by disease because obviously they're from Mars and they're not like hang on immune system like us, but like the bacteria in it. But yeah, I don't know. I really like if you've seen the film, you got the gist of what the book is. But the book is quite different from what I remembered what the film is. Like, I can't really remember how much like what happens in the film, but like it does follow the book, but not like it's obviously been like Hollywood twisted up to make it even better. But I enjoyed the book. I gave it 7.5 out of 10. Highly recommend it if you like the classics and everything. And it's an easy to read book. Really, it's one that you can pick up, put down, pick up, put down. And it's made me want to watch the film again. See if I'm brave enough now to watch it without getting scared. But yeah, that is my book collection. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much with it, and hope I kind of gave you an idea of what the books are without telling you too much about them. If I was to recommend any, I would definitely that's my main one out of all books I've read. I'd recommend. Like it says children's on the back of it, but the whole like series is amazing. I loved it. Like it really takes you back in time to like Stone Age, kind of like caveman time, and like I don't know, her imagination is just cat hair. Her imagination is just, I don't know, I could not imagine someone writing something like this. I really enjoyed it. And then my second one would be The Girl on the Ice. I'm definitely going to try and get some more of these books of the Erica Foster novels, because I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I would, but I did. So I'm going to shut up now. If there's any books that you've read and you recommend and would like me to like read and review, let me know in the comments below, because I'm running low. Sounds silly, but I'm actually down to, I had like 4 bookcases, or like 4 shelves on a bookcase full of books, and I'm now up to 2.5. So depending on how long those lockdowns are going to last, I'm going to need some new books soon. So let me know in the comments below if you've got any, like what's your favourite book, let me know, and if I haven't read it, I'll read it. I think that's everything I've got to say. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I'm putting up videos twice a week, Wednesdays and Sundays, but then also in the week I'm doing my weekly vlogs for the lockdown. So week 6 will be going up either today, Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know when this is going to go up, so week 7 will have been up as well, probably by the time this video goes up actually. I don't even know what week it is now, anyway, but yeah, I've got loads of videos going up, so let me just subscribe and then you won't miss any. So yeah, that's everything. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the time it is. I hope you're happy and smiling, because that's the most important thing. I'll see you in my next video, and please stay safe. Bye.